Hi and welcome to Henrich Consulting. Today we have a bit of a different video. It's actually trying to solve an issue I've been having with my computer. So my 780 Ti references a fairly good card. I mean, it does me pretty well, but it gets really hot. And the ventilation in my case is, well, I would say adequate, but not great. So I thought I would see just how hot it actually gets. So let's give a little bit of a GPU stress test a go, and I'll show you what the results are. So here we are at the 2-minute mark, and we're already starting to notice that the card is thermal throttling, which means that the card is actually slowing itself down so it doesn't burn up, which impacts performance. So that got me thinking, how can I fix this issue without either going out and buying a new card or investing in a very expensive liquid cooled custom loop, which can get into the several $100s quite easily. And I had a bit of a search on the internet, and I found something that might just work. So here we have the product for this review, the HG10 from Corsair. Now what this is at first glance it looks very similar to the actual reference cooler on its own, but it has this little cutout here, and that's designed to go with Corsair's Hydro series of CPU coolers. So you can actually mount, like the one I have here, this Corsair H60, you can mount that directly to your GPU and have it exhaust straight out the back of your case. So I have the offending 780 Ti here to dismantle the cooler off and install this new one. And luckily enough, Corsair has actually provided already the thermal pads for the VRMs and the memory chips, which is a nice touch. So let's remove the old stock cooler and go ahead and install the HG10. So here we have almost the finished product. We have the cooler installed, the old one off, all the thermal paste has been removed, the old thermal pads have been removed, and now all we have to do is install the new cooler, essentially. This is my old H60. It served me pretty well. I've upgraded to a H100i. So this was just sitting in the box, so I thought I would do something useful with it. So here we are a full day later. Some nasty storms came through and actually knocked out the power for a bit, so I don't have the full install video recorded, but we do have it sitting here right now and all installed and all working. So The CPU block, if you can see, sits on the GPU itself. Shipping runs up into the radiator, which is cooled by this fan. So let's actually have a look and see if the temperatures are much cooler. So here we are back on the desktop. We have Firmark open here. We have all of our settings set up. Our fan on the radiator is set to 50%. So let's give another GPU stress test a go and see what the temperatures are like. So here we are at the 2-minute mark, and you can already see that the temperatures are much lower than with the reference cooler. The room that we're currently in is probably 30 degrees, which is just a smidge warmer than what it was on the previous test. So given that our fan is sitting at 50%, that's quite impressive. So we'll let this run for a little bit longer and just see what the maximum temperatures are. So here we are at the 7-minute mark, and I think we found the maximum temperature. It's been jumping around the 59 to 60 degrees centigrade mark for about a minute now. So I can pretty much say that this is about as hot as it's going to get. Considering that the fan's only on 50%, the room's quite warm already, and that it's only about 30 degrees above ambient, which all in all makes this quite impressive for the low price of about $50. So to conclude this video, while I am impressed with the performance of the Corsair HG10, I would have to say that this product isn't for everyone. And when I say that, I mean that the product is good, but if you go out and buy the Corsair HG10 without already owning a cooler, the price can actually jump up quite a fair bit, because even a cheap cooler such as the Corsair H60 there retails at about $100. So when you add the price of the cooler and the bracket, you're looking at $150 plus just to cool down your GPU. And when you think about it, you can actually pay a lot less for a non-reference card and still get very similar temperatures. So all in all, this product does get a thumbs up from me, and I do recommend it if you do already have the cooler, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're going out and buying the cooler and the bracket just to cool your GPU. So I hope you enjoyed our review of the Corsair HG10. Tell us what you think in the comments section, like the video if you liked it, disliked it if you didn't, and we'll see you next time.